another episode.
Yo, what is going on? Oh my gosh. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Yappisode. This is the Daily Yap. I am your host, Jay, of course. And man, it has been an eventful evening, to say the least. It has been crazy, but I definitely have comfort, and it makes me feel good seeing everybody. What's going on, TikTok family, as well? It makes me feel good seeing everybody kind of be like, man, I already know how it go. Okay. Everybody is family oriented in the community. So it's great because when I say I gotta push the podcast, when I gotta push the episode back 2 hours, everybody understands. And so yeah, we are back tonight after a cut. What we did, we took yesterday off, I believe, after the whole Candace and case in point, what's the guy's name? Andrew Wilson on Friday. So we'll be recapping that. I hope y'all enjoyed JR on Thursday and Friday. He appeared back-to-back nights. Great dude. I can't wait to collab with him in the future even more. Great guy. Definitely go give him a follow if you haven't already. Man, I if you go look at one of his recent videos, he talked about it a little bit as far as like some of the things he's been going through personally. Is public information, so you can go on his channel and just check out all of his stuff. And man, I was watching some of his videos today, and it's crazy, man. So I'm somebody that I root for. I'm a rooter. When somebody's going through things, when they have a story, I am somebody that for sure loves to root for kind of like an underdog in a way. So he was a great guest, and we definitely will have him on many times in the future. Great dude. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Housekeeping stuff, please, everybody hit the like button on your way in, on your way out. If you are watching on the replay crew tomorrow, please hit the like button. It helps out the algorithm because social media nowadays, they don't push anything if nobody likes the video because they associate that with reality, saying that nobody clearly likes the video. They didn't like it. But people get wrapped up in the content and you actually just end up forgetting to like the video. So hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are on the road to 26K subs. And that's on YouTube. Obviously, all platforms have been growing. Speaking of, I never, ever had a Facebook. Never. Especially not for like maybe like personal stuff, and I might like, Facebook marketplace stuff. But I've never had a Facebook where I was posting content. And it was brought to my attention that there are several accounts impersonating me over on Facebook because somebody dropped in the comments on one of the live streams from this weekend and was like, man, I usually watch all your stuff on Facebook, but I saw your TikTok live and it said to watch the Candace and Andrew Wilson thing on YouTube. And I'm like, Facebook? So I ended up going to Facebook and I see, and yeah, this is all baby throw up right here. So please don't judge me. I ended up going over to Facebook, Texas, what's going on? And there's multiple accounts with my username and it's almost like up to date as well. Like new videos that I might post yesterday, they are downloading and posting it as theirs on Facebook. And so I never had a Facebook. I've saw accounts on there that got 25,000 plus followers. And I've never had a Facebook. That is an imposter. I have never done any of that before. I've actually been stalling on posting on Facebook because that's just a whole nother story. And so, after I saw that, I was inspired to create my own Facebook so that way I can put my own stuff on my own Facebook versus people stealing the content. And so I did that. So I just want to show everybody the profile, at least, if I can pull it up. I haven't pulled up Facebook on a computer in forever, so I don't even know how this is going to work. It might not even pull up. Yeah, I'm not even finna deal with all of that. So Pretty much on Facebook, it is the same thing. That's how you can confirm and everything. It is the same thing as X and TikTok, right? Jay the Yapper one. And I'm gonna just put it right here. I don't have the Facebook tag yet because I just did this like yesterday. But Jay Shaw 3 is the first TikTok. Jay the Yapper one is the second TikTok. Jay the Yapper one is X. Jay the Yapper one is on Buy Me a Coffee. And now Jay the Yapper one is on Facebook. It is the same profile picture as all the other, or as X and as YouTube. So you'll see the picture with my Atlanta hat and the Daily Yap podcast. You'll see that. That is my only profile on Facebook. So if you see that other profile, it's many of them. If you see those profiles, just report them as whatever. I know these social media nowadays, they don't even get these pages taken down. It's just be ridiculous. So I'm just letting y'all know. So the Facebook profile has been created. Jay the Apple one on Facebook. I only got like one follower, man. Come on. I'm a little, I got a little stage fright over there. I don't even want to post. It feels kind of weird over there on Facebook. So show some love. I got to get used to how that algorithm works on that side. But yeah, it's created. So you can find me over on Facebook now as well. So now we are on all platforms: TikTok, X, YouTube, Facebook. I don't know about Instagram. Instagram kind of weird. Instagram is like a lot of people that just lurk but don't comment. You know what I mean? They lurk but they don't interact. So I don't know about Instagram yet. We'll see. But I just wanted to let everybody know that outside of that, we have a lot to talk about. Yes, we do. We have to we're gonna recap a little bit of Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens, just a little bit, not too much. Then we're gonna go into Donkey of the Day, which is a pretty funny one. I'm not gonna lie. And then I want to play a couple of things for Brandon Tatum, who I would say it would probably be the worst accusation I've ever heard from Brandon Tatum to Candace Owens. Like I at this point, y'all know me. I have been saying for a very long time that I don't understand the dynamic between the two. So I'm gonna play a clip from Brandon Tatum because he was reacting to Sean. I keep saying, but I think Sean Ryan in my head. Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens. He was reacting to that on his channel on live, but he said some crazy things at the very end of the live that I just don't really understand how Candace ignores him. I get it. He's a good friend, but y'all know I've been pretty firm on the same point and perspective for months now, since he started calling her out back in November, December. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, out of all the people that she does bring up, and she her own woman, she could do whatever the hell she wants. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's strange, right? Because these people that come out of nowhere, like your Andrew Wilsons, who call her out for less than a month, all of a sudden he get all the attention. And I'm like, bro, he's only been talking trash for like a month, bro. You know what I mean? Like, this dude is down the line, please. But he gets the attention. But Brandon Tatum is somebody like, bro, if her and Brandon Tatum somehow was like, yo, this debate, we need to go ahead and hash it out. And it ain't gotta be no personal jabs or nothing. They could just literally debate about the Charlie Kirk case, right? Because I know it seems like they're both afraid to touch personal things because he's been taking personal jabs, it seems like. But even if it was just the Charlie Kirk case and they kept it just strictly on that, dog, I would take a PTO day and just throw a real party, because that would be the most interesting conversation this year, seeing them two talk, because clearly they are not on the same page, but yet they're saying, oh, that's like a sister, that's like a brother. I don't believe it. So if that were to actually happen, I would literally take a day off of work to watch that. But I doubt it's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep on instigating it though. I mean, that's just me. But we'll play a clip of him because he said something very, very, very disrespectful, detrimental, I don't know. I just don't know how Candace can ignore this guy anymore. So we'll be talking about him as well. And obviously we'll be vibing out, clicking on some random stuff throughout the podcast that people have sent me that I've bookmarked myself. So please, late night stream, vibe, chill, whatever you want to do. But let's definitely get into it. I want to start off with let's start off with some Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson thing. So that way we can. I told somebody that somebody said, "Can we lay this to bed? When is this gonna be over with?" And I told him, I said, after Sunday, I won't be talking about it no more. Okay. So this is it. This is the last conversation um about Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson. Both kids are asleep. Yes, both of my kids are finally asleep now. It took a long time, and it is very very hot in North Carolina right now. So the AC is just not on our side throughout the day. It literally is so terrible for all the houses in the neighborhood, and they townhouses. So you know what I mean, like so they're like connected. Some are standalone houses, but we got a townhouse. And so the AC is so bad when it's extremely hot, it's like fighting and it's just not doing what it's doing. And the AC doesn't ever really actually cut on and get like cold until around like 11 p.m. midnight. So it was one of those nights where it's just like it was just hot. My newborn was fighting his sleep for 4 hours. He was overtired, just tweaking. My oldest, he cannot stand sleeping when it's a little muggy. So like it was just one of them nights, man. It was one of them nights. And they finally was both good by like 10:45, 11 o'clock. So but it's all good. We here now. We here now. All right. So Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson. Let's get into it. You know, thoughts, perspectives, opinions. I would love to hear y'all's as well, because again, I definitely want to go ahead and wrap it up. And moving forward after tomorrow, this guy don't deserve any more attention. Obviously, he will be getting attention on X. That was his whole goal. So, in my opinion, when you talk about winners and losers, um, if you have to name a winner and a loser, I think personally, Candace Owens won and Andrew Wilson lost. Now I think that ultimately, I don't think that this case, in my opinion, that there's not going to be a right or wrong answer. So I'm not sitting here trying to tell anybody to agree with me. Nor do I want anybody to try to tell me to agree with them. At the end of the day, nobody's wrong here. It's just your opinion. I don't think that this moved the case forward at all. This didn't provide any value to the case. This didn't move the needle of the case at all. I think this was a distraction from day one. That's what I've said in every video that I've ever created about this debate. And I think that's exactly what it was. I think Andrew Wilson was put in place by somebody to distract Candace from whatever she was doing, because it kind of worked. She was they was doing all this stuff, money was getting thrown out all over X, and next thing you know, she gave him the attention, and next you know, she ended up talking about him for about a week on her podcast, and then the next week she ends up like canceling 2 shows to prep for it, and I think that's exactly what he wanted, which was to be talked about on her podcast of 6 million plus subscribers that listen at one point in time. They might not all be at the same time, but she has 6 million um, supporters on one platform. It doesn't even count X and all this other stuff. And I think that that's exactly what he wanted, was attention, and he got it from her. And then he proved that by going on Friday and not knowing a single thing that he was going to debate. Like, not a single point that he actually wanted to argue. He had no clue. He didn't even get much out of Candace. So like I understand some people are saying like, Candace didn't even bring up this, because I think the tricky part about especially debating a case, which is another thing that we were talking about on this channel. Thank you to the Yap community, because y'all have been here since day one, since we've been talking about this. So this really did not come as a surprise. We were already talking about it. Like it's not really a debate when it comes to this case, right? Like it's there's court documents, there's charging documents. There's nothing to really debate there. All you can say is, I think they're lying to me. And that's pretty much it. Or all Andrew Wilson is going to say is, I believe it. That's pretty much it. But Andrew Wilson, the only tactic he's ever had is the same thing he did with Stu Peters, which was, I am going to go after the thing that you will not share, the thing that are your secret sources. And, oh, I'm holding information because I'm waiting for X, Y, and Z. I'm not attacking that tactic at all. Or I'm not attacking that strategy at all from, Candace and Barron, all these people that are like, I gotta wait for the right time. Bro, do you? I'm not the one that got the information. It is what it is. But when it comes to a debate, Andrew Wilson is gonna come in and say, which he did, and he's gonna say, why do you believe what you believe? Why should I believe you? Like, why should I believe that Tyler Robinson was a patsy? Like, explain that to me. And if there's going to be sources that Candace cannot reveal or go into detail about, then Andrew Wilson is going to literally be like, well, you're lying. Because why should I believe you? And you may not be lying, right? But why should I believe you? Because you won't even tell me the full thing. And that's all he was going to do, is just continue to try to pull the sources out of her, which we all saw from a mile away that she wasn't going to do that. Andrew Wilson was not going to be the person that was going to have Candace slip up and reveal extra information and all that other stuff. But that was the thing that was going back and forth, is that people were like, oh, this is going to be the episode where Candace drops bombs. And I'm like, that makes no sense. Why would she wait until Andrew Wilson to share information? So it was his whole back and forth thing. And I just think that this was not a win overall. Like, so when people are on X saying like, that was for Charlie, I don't personally think so. Okay, I'm gonna always keep it on it. I don't personally think that was like a for Charlie moment. It was terrible. We had somebody that did not even care about the case be able to make a bag off of arguing nothing. He showed that took little effort from Andrew Wilson. So I feel like that was just like a little, I don't know. But I think that overall Candace, did her thing, and she, there were some things that were on Andrew Wilson's side that I understood his argument, but again, it was one of those things where like if Candace can't reveal some of the information that she has, then it's going to be tough to debate that. And so technically under debate rules, that would technically be like, you took that L, Candace, because you say you have X, Y, and Z, but you're not sharing X, Y, and Z. For example, her saying, at the very beginning, she said, I am 0%. Like, I'm at 0% that Tyler Robinson did it. Okay, so if you have to then explain, how did you get to 0? And she explained some of those things, but it's almost like you also can't just disregard the things that's in the court documents and all this other stuff, because if you're gonna say 0%, then you're gonna have to have like some definitive claims, definitive proof for somebody to be like, oh, I can understand why you're at 0. But if it's just not definitive concrete things versus things that just don't make sense, all right? Very weird, right? Very weird things don't align. Nobody's denying that. But when you say 0, you're going to have to back it up with, when you're arguing against somebody, and you're going to have to back that up with, okay, these are the things on why I'm at 0 versus I'm at like 25%. Like, it could have been Tyler Robinson, right? They're going to have to make it make sense in court that it was Tyler Robinson. If they do, I'm open to it. And that's where it's like, okay, I'm 25%. Like, I'm at 25% that I think Tyler Robinson did it, but I'm 75% sure that it was not him because of X, Y, and Z. But her saying 0%, I already knew Andrew Wilson was just going to just go in on her about the 0%. Because if you can't really definitively explain what made you get the 0, then on that topic, it's an L. So like, it was just so many like weird small things like that, throughout the debate, that I was just like, Andrew Wilson is going to just continue to be on that same topic until Candace makes it make sense to him. And like she said in her famous line, I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you, or something like that. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. But that was, that was a bar, obviously. And so, yeah, I mean, but that's the thing though. Like it said, Candace explained already on her podcast why she's at 0%. What I'm trying to say is, in a debate, if you're not going to reveal, like, and I know she said, the steakhouse and all these things, but like, if none of these things are concrete proof to somebody like Andrew Wilson, then he's going to say, how are you at 0% when you haven't even explained to me what made you get to 0? Right? So you're telling me when trial happens, you don't even think that they're going to be able to explain or show you Tyler Robinson on campus? And she's at 0. So she's saying that she already definitively knows herself, whether she knows more information, which I'm pretty sure she does, than the public. But that's what I'm saying. When it comes to a debate, it's a pointless conversation because Candace knows so much that she's not going to reveal. So that's why I kept saying all week, I was like, I don't know how this is going to be a conversation or a debate, because Candace is not going to reveal anything. Andrew is going to ask, how did you get to that conclusion? She's not going to really be able to go into detail, and then it's going to be left with Andrew's going to say, so you want me to just trust you? And I knew that was going to happen. So it's just tough. But, it's always room to grow. So please don't think that Candace just did absolutely perfect. There were things in there that I was like, you know what I mean? Like when Andrew Wilson brought up the parents, and he said, you're a mom, you're a parent. If your child didn't do this, and you're saying he had a 0% chance of doing it. So if, to your logic, if he had a 0% chance of doing it, then why would you want your child in jail every single day that goes by when there's a 0% chance that he did it? Why would they not be saying anything? Why would they not be, all the things that y'all heard Andrew Wilson say, which is a great point. And then Candace said that, the parents were on a gag order or something like that. But like, Andrew Wilson, is his fault, but the parents themselves, when I pulled up the court documents, I was asking Grok, asking ChatGPT, all these different things to figure out who exactly was on the gag order. And it didn't say that the parents were on a gag order. It was saying that the attorneys were on the gag order. So, that's something that like Andrew Wilson missed, but that's not Candace's fault. You know what I mean? So again, we're just coming from an unbiased perspective of just viewing the entire debate and just dissecting it from both parties. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not somebody that's gonna sit here, because a lot of people on X are fanboys and fangirls. You know what I mean? It don't matter what they do, what Candace does, they just gonna gas absolutely everything up. That's not me at all. I've loved debates, and I love when people have great conversations, and I'm not gonna pick a side just because like I like you. Like, no, you gotta, you know what I mean? I'm gonna hear both sides and see what's going on. But to me, that was the only thing that Andrew Wilson had like an amazing point, is the parents. And I'm sure there were other things too, but I think overall, Candace definitely took she rested her case, and for her, she backed up, she supported her stance and her claim more than Andrew. That was the point of the debate. You think that it's overwhelming evidence, please provide that support. He did not do that. So he literally start off his opening statement with, the evidence is overwhelming, and I'm 75% sure that Tyler Robinson did it. 75 to 85% sure that Tyler Robinson did it. Well, it's not overwhelming then. if you're only at 75%, that's not overwhelming at all. So like, he lost before it even started. So yeah, it's crazy. It's now, when it comes to all that extra stuff, the last thing I'll say about the extra stuff outside the debate, because there will never ever be a middle ground on this, because we'll never know. I don't think Andrew Wilson paid $300,000. That's just me. He didn't give off the vibes of somebody that paid $300,000 to talk. Yeah, right. That's enough for reasonable doubt, right? He said, "I'm 75% sure that Tyler Robinson did it." Well, brother, that's 25% reasonable doubt in your mind. That's the whole point. So, like, but again, he doesn't. Whatever. I don't think he paid $300,000 to Candace Owens. He didn't act like somebody that paid $300,000, because if I paid $300,000, I'm gonna make sure I try to get as much as I can and not just like harp on like one thing. So he was like so focused on trying to get her to slip up on the Erica thing, and I'm like, bro, bump that. Like, did you pay $300,000? Like, this is your time to get absolutely everything. Explain the Egyptian planes. Explain Fort Huachuca. Explain um why you said Erica was at the airport already on 9/10. What do you what does that explain that? You know what I mean? Like, it was so many things that all of us regular people that have been locked in on a case for an entire year, we probably could have grilled her more than Andrew Wilson. And so for the fact that he paid 300K, he paid three. That's why I say he didn't pay 300K, because he didn't give off those vibes. It seemed like he was ready to go before it even started. And so, he also made a weird comment in there too, that, whatever. But I don't know who paid the 300K. People are going to say it was TPUSA. I don't know. We'll never know. Those are one of those things. Like, in this case, I'm so over like the unknown and like trying to figure that out, because we just won't know. We'll never know if TPUSA actually did it. So I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth about that. Um, people are saying that Candace Owens was trying to catch TPUSA and Andrew Wilson and all that other stuff. And I'm like, again, my mindset is, if it took Andrew Wilson for people to be like, oh man, TPUSA, they're such a fraudulent organization. Look at the type of individual they would send. Andrew Wilson, to me, I'm like, it's kind of just disrespectful to the people that's been locked in on the case forever. Andrew Wilson is like the bottom tier when it comes to, oh my gosh, how could TPUSA ever affiliate themselves with somebody like that? That was nothing. Okay. There are people on payroll that have done much worse than Andrew Wilson. That's what I kept trying to tell people about, like the whole, she's trying to catch TPUSA. And I'm like, I mean, maybe, but I promise you, Brandon Tatum, who's on payroll, Benny Johnson, who's on payroll, Jack Posobiec, who's on payroll, Blake Neff, who's on the Charlie Kirk Show payroll, Andrew Kovac, all of these individuals have done much worse damage. So this whole waiting for, that it was just, I just don't agree with that. But I don't know who paid for it. I think somebody sent him there. I think he was going for another agenda. And I think that, I think it was just kind of like disrespectful to everybody, because how we all know so much about this case and he knows so little, but he was the one that walked away with a bag. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, going into let me see some of y'all comments on that before I go into Donkey today, because I am interested in some of y'all's comments and thoughts. I don't think Andrew Wilson deserved her info that's been withheld at this point. No, he didn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it. That's why when they set it up, I was like, and people were saying on TikTok all the time about like, oh, she's gonna drop bombs. And I was like, why would she drop bombs to Andrew Wilson, who doesn't care about the case? Like, do you realize how crazy that sounds? Her supporters have been patiently waiting for her to do what she does, right? Respectfully. And now everybody, because everybody always tries to make sense out of stuff. That's just life. And so when people were like, yeah, she's gonna drop bombs, I was like, that just doesn't make any sense. Why would she wait for somebody that doesn't care about the case to drop evidence like that? Andrew Wilson did not deserve to, in my opinion, he did not deserve to just jump to the top of Candace's attention just because he called her out for a month. She got paid and he got exposed. I mean, but we got to remember though, we got to stay very unbiased here and consistent. He got a bag too. So, you know what I mean? I think that to me is more concerning than me being so happy that Candace got a bag. She's a millionaire. All of these people got a lot of money, right? I don't know if Andrew Wilson's a millionaire, but all these people got a lot of money. So $300,000 to a millionaire is nothing. So that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna be the person that's like, oh man, she got 300K. Like that was probably 2 episodes of 2 days a week. You'll get that. Um, but my biggest concern is the fact that he walked away with a bag. That to me is like, wow, okay, what are we doing here? Wilson was a bad fake faith actor. Whatever anyone thinks about Candace, I truly believe that she's trying to find answers. Yeah, I mean, I think she's still on the side of truth, and that's what I on the side I'm on. So, um, she's the only one doing it. So, Melissa, thank you for the donation and supporting the channel. But she says they are willing to let a man, yeah, die. But if she sits on definitive info, how is she any better? That's a great point. I have, yeah, I've said that before. I think that anybody that says that tries to go at that angle and say that TPUSA and all of these people that are trying to publicly call for the execution of Tyler Robinson and all this other stuff, whoever says that, and I've heard Candace say it, I've heard Barron say it, they can't then turn around and say, um, or kind of imply that they have evidence that would save him, but they choose not to because of timing and they're waiting. Well, okay, well, to your logic, he could die tomorrow, but you're waiting for what? Yeah. So I agree. That particularly doesn't make any sense. I do agree with you. Candace has a sources who she's trying to protect, but Andrew straight up said he's gonna drip his evidence. They always tell you who you are. Yeah, they're just mocking. They're mocking her for sure for the whole like, oh, you got sources and you're not gonna share. Like he's for sure mocking her when he was doing that. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I'll go through some more um towards the end of the show when we wrap up. I want to get to Donkey today because this was he also got exposure. Yeah, he did get exposure. That's what I'm saying. Like he got exactly what he wanted. He did his live stream today, and he was supposed to drop the text messages. He didn't then, and he was raking them donations in. You know what I mean? Like that's what that's just what name of the game. Exposure. That's all he wanted. That's a win for him. And then I'm sorry, my last comment is that when people say this brings exposure to the case, I don't doubt that there are some stragglers that probably were like, "Oh, wow, I'm gonna tune in because everybody's advertising it and all this other stuff." I don't doubt that there probably were some stragglers that were like, "Oh, this is compelling. Oh, Candace knows what she's talking about. Oh, who's this guy Andrew?" But I just think I don't know. I just don't think it really moved the needle for real. Stragglers, sure, but that was such a surface level conversation. Like that was literally like Candace knows what the charging documents and the court document says, and Andrew doesn't. So if anybody was watching and was like, "Oh, I learned so much, and I'm gonna start looking into the case," you just weren't really interested. And maybe that's what people are talking about, the exposure. So I'm willing to agree with that. Um, I just think that for Andrew Wilson to benefit from that, I don't agree with that part, but two things can be true. Two things can be true. According to Barron, it moved the needle on the poly market. I mean, it could have. Like, I mean, it did. I saw that. But like I personally don't really care until mainstream media cares. Because that's what matters. Like if mainstream media ain't talking about it, I don't care what poly market talking about. But yeah, I did see that. I did see that. But like I said, there was really nothing that happened in that debate outside of anybody that is now on the side of dang something really is strange. they just weren't really interested because everything they talked about in the debate was in the court documents. So exposure to the case, sure, that's a win. I'll give it to whoever brings up that point. All right, so let me pull up Donkey today right quick. I know that we was hitting on that for a little bit. I just wanted to get that out because that was for sure the last time we'll talk about Andrew Wilson. Oh man, Donkey today. This was a very funny one. And man, look, I don't want to dog pile on this guy because I tend to not agree with a lot of people and their perspective on this guy. I want to start with saying that. Just because I don't really attack anybody's character, and especially when they have okay intentions, when they have good intentions. And with this guy, I can see that he tries very hard to be a source, and he tries very hard to get the breaking news. And when you do that, you do tend to make a lot of mistakes along the way. But I don't think that this guy is doing things like, I don't know, out of malicious intent or anything like that. Like he really does seem like, and I hate how just everybody kind of dog piles on him, on both sides. Both sides dog pile on him, and I'm just not a fan of anything like that. I'm not a fan of like bullying and all that stuff in general. We're all grown adults here, but I just think that when you attack people's like character and appearance and the way they look versus maybe what they're saying in their content, we're going off script. You can talk about their content all day and whatever, but when people talk about you know the way they look and all of that, that's just that I don't agree with all of that. So I wanted to start with saying that because this absolutely did make me laugh, but it's not because of how everybody else is like, man, this guy is just a big old dummy or something. And I'm not saying that at all, but it was just funny. I'm sorry, I gotta refresh my page. Project Constitution. This is going to be very, very funny. Okay. I was dying laughing. Y'all might not laugh. It was funny to me. He, I guess, talked to somebody that he thought was a whistleblower on Andrew Wilson's team. And knowing Project Constitution, he is a man that works very hard to get the breaking news very quick. And when you do that, you do kind of slip up. And so um that's what happened. Okay. And he thought that he found a whistleblower and was going to release some secret information about Andrew Wilson that would have exploded on the internet just because of what just happened with Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens. But he ended up getting bamboozled when the guy that he thought was a whistleblower ended up being Andrew Wilson's friend. And all they did was pretend like they knew some secret information and just to try to humiliate Project Constitution. And it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna play the clip. And yeah, just enjoy because this was absolutely funny. Especially when Project Constitution realized what was going on. I was like, that's so tough. I got secondhand embarrassment. All right, here go the clip right here.
Welcome to the channel, guys. It's me, Colin, Project Constitution. Joining me tonight is my guest. He goes by Mr. Coombe. This is a guy who knows Andrew Wilson, spent a bunch of time with Andrew Wilson in his house, got to know him intimately, and has some stories to tell. So we're just gonna kind of walk through. He doesn't have a short time. He's only gonna be here about a half hour, so it's gonna be a short stream. But he just has some information that he feels is relevant, I feel is relevant, that we want to expose with you guys. So without, oh, wait a minute. We're not even live yet. What the hell's going on here? Hold on one second.
The fact that there's real crickets in the background, that is crazy. it might not be like a cricket, but it sounds like one, and this is awkward silence. So I found that pretty funny.
Okay, no, we are. Okay, we're good. Okay. So we're just not live on X. Okay. That's weird. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Mr. Coombe. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm okay, man. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate that. All right. So I guess you want to just give us a little history of how you well, I don't know, you
It's on YouTube.
You could begin where you want to begin. I'll let that way because I don't want to say anything that's going to get you in trouble.
Yeah, so I met the Wilsons a few years back, and we became friends, sort of like work friends and everything like that. And then I ended up actually spending a lot of time at their place where they lived in the States, like a good 2 weeks or so. And then, yeah, I had some pretty crazy things revealed to me, and I saw the conversation coming up about Andrew's past recently, and to be honest, it was like a little bit alarming to me. And so I thought I would share something, and then I think that's since been deleted, but you picked up on it.
Yeah, it seemed like he's hiding his face with a t-shirt. Yeah.
And basically, this was about Andrew's past before the Crucible, and about his military past and everything. And there's a reason why he went off the face of the earth for a very long time. And there's a military background. Not many people know much about that. Then he goes missing off the face of the earth. So I'm spending time at his place, and basically I found 6 passports in his name, and that was the first big red flag. Well, I don't know about that really, but what I do know is that when no one's looking, he smokes menthol cigarettes. So he tries to act like he smokes like normal cigarettes, but then when no one's looking, he smokes menthol cigarettes. And I found that a weird detail, like a weird thing to do.
Yeah, well, I hide that. That is
Yeah.
such a strange detail to hide.
Yeah.
He's a strange guy altogether, though. I mean, I remember the first time I kind of had a back and forth with him. He like lost it. Like he went maniacal. Like he clearly was drinking that night.
It's probably from the head
and
trauma, dude. It's probably from the amnesia, because I don't know if you noticed yesterday like the other day in the debate. And look, we're not gonna talk about the debate, but like, look, his leg shaking like that. That's because from the government programming. Like that's where it comes from. All that twitching and shaking and everything like that.
He's making stuff
Okay,
up.
yeah, he clearly was nervous and agitated or whatever. Yeah, so like I said, the first time I had an interaction with him, he actually sent a video or posted a video like laughing.
It's almost over, everybody. It's almost over. It's gonna get much better. It's 3 minutes and 40 seconds in. It's only a 6-minute video, so we halfway through.
Maniacally, really weird. Like, yeah, he's a strange guy, man. Really strange guy.
Yeah. And then there was another thing that I found, dude. I don't even know how to say this, to be honest, but like I was in the living room one day, and basically I was walking around, and then it was maybe like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was thinking, afternoon. So I found my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna get some afternoon delight. Mama always said, if it's right, it's right. While waiting till the middle of a cold, dark night. Sky rockets in flight. Project Constitution. Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
Look at his face. He like that.
Yeah.
Afternoon delight.
Good one.
Afternoon delight. Project Constitution, brother. How did you not know? Did you do a basic, cursory little bit of research, my friend?
I just want to know what is going through Project Mind right here. It's one of the things that's like you're on live, right? You're on live. So what can you really do? You can't just end the live, you know what I mean? So you really got to sit there and soak in the secondhand embarrassment. Or no, we're secondhand embarrassment. He has to soak in this humiliation and embarrassment because he can't just end the live. He got to just sit there and let it play out. I couldn't do it. No, I ain't gonna hold you. Account deactivated. It's over with. It's over with. Y'all wouldn't see me for like a week. Ain't no way. And there's no possible way. This happened to me, and then I just show up the next day. I just couldn't do it, bro. I just couldn't do it. Bro, just continue to just look at Project Face and his responses, and you can just tell he's like, damn.
You wouldn't give me anything.
Picking
I
up, he's got
tried.
me working up an appetite, getting forward to a little afternoon delight.
He can't say nothing.
Oh, he's one of my best friends. I am currently live streaming. I've been shit posting about it all week. Project Constitution, walk me through how you do all of this research, my friend. Please, I'd love to know it.
Yeah, well,
Picking up, he's got me working up an
That's one of them, like, he just tried to like slowly get out the frame.
appetite, looking forward
Okay,
to a
so-
little afternoon delight. Mama.
all right. I'm not even going to play their games. Like I said, he's a loser. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm not even going to play.
Afternoon delight. He's got me working up an appetite, looking forward
Okay,
to a
so-
little afternoon delight. Mama.
What he finna say? He talking about dog. Oh my gosh, bro. I was cracking up all morning. It was when I saw this.
All right. I'm not even going to play their games. Like I said, he's a loser. I don't want anything to do with that. I do have.
We did it, boys.
Oh my gosh. That was the funniest clip I have seen in a long time. I'm not gonna lie. It's been it was a TikTok video that was actually pretty fun. I might show y'all that. I really might show y'all a TikTok video that I actually found quite hilarious last night. But that was so funny, bro. And he's obviously getting clowned all over.
Basically, just work with.
Really.
I'm currently.
He's obviously getting trolled and clowned all over X. Because it's just like, you know, he has said things in the past, yes, that was not accurate or didn't end up being true or whatever. So like, but you know, again, to what I was originally saying about him is people do get things wrong. It happens, you know. So I'm not gonna, you know, dogpile about, you know, on Project Constitution and say like, see, he's unreliable and blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, I think he does things out of great intention, man. I really do. I just think that he messes up a little bit more than others. That's really it. I think that he genuinely thought he had something going on with this leak in Andrew Wilson's camp. But you know, I think that they took advantage of knowing that he messes up a lot, and they was playing with him. They was trolling him. So I thought it was hilarious. I know Project, you've seen my stuff before. It was funny, bro. It was funny. I don't know what else to say. It had me cracking up all morning. Even my son was like, "Dad, what are you laughing?" I was laughing for a long time because I just felt so bad and embarrassed for Project Constitution because I immediately was like, "What would I do?" Someone said I would call Tyler Robinson. Dude, I just couldn't do it. That'd be it. I'm telling you, it would be. I pull a Blake Bednarz because Blake be doing that. When Blake do some crazy stuff, Blake deactivate all his accounts and he'll come back in like 3 business days. I'd be out. Yeah, I wouldn't be hearing from me. You wouldn't be allowed to tag me. None of that. You might talk about me. I can't see it though. I'm disappearing for a couple of days. Now I can't do that, bro. I cannot do that. That was very, very funny. I want to show y'all something really funny though. I want to see if forgive me for my unprofessionalism because I am about to just show y'all a random TikTok video that I don't want to forget to show y'all. just because it was very funny and I laughed for a long time. And I feel like, come on, bro, like everybody got to laugh every now and then. You can't be this super, super serious person 24/7. All right, here it is right here. Let me send it to myself so I can put it up for y'all. This is, if y'all needed a good laugh for tonight, don't worry about it. I'll give you one. I will give you one. And this will for sure do it. I guarantee you. If it don't, I can face whatever consequence you want me to. That's how confident I am that this is gonna make your day. All right, let me pull it up really quick for everybody. Everybody is gonna need this laugh. I promise you. Bro, y'all really finna make me sign in on Facebook to view a video? See what I'm saying? What's my dang thing? That's what I say, bro. So Facebook is just not for me. I gotta do a full sign in just to see a video. Bro, forgive me. What is my email? Forgive me. I promise you it's gonna be worth it. All right, and then this is bro, that's literally bro, this thing is about to piss me off. I'm sorry. I have who just has Facebook login credentials on standby? Just let me play the link. What the heck, bro? What the freak? Just let me play the link. Oh, if you want to watch this video, then you need to sign into your Facebook account. That's why I don't use y'all. Cause why do I need to do all this just to view it? Oh, sure. Okay, let me try this one. All right. Oh my gosh. Bro, I'm getting mad. I got to log in. We in, right? Now they talking about how many cars do you see to prove that you're not a robot? The robot is gonna ask me if I'm not a robot. Oh my gosh, dog. Then they're gonna give me this super grainy footage. No normal human can even identify these pictures, and it's gonna tell me which one is the car. Well, how about you make 9 clear photos? Why are you trying to trick me? That makes no sense. Select all the cars. Bro, you're only showing me one car. What are you talking about? Then they put a car in a small little corner of the square. Is that counting as the whole square? Do I need to click that? Oh my gosh, bro. It's just like I'm not even in the mood to laugh no more. Like, just killed my whole buzz, man. Like I wanted to sit here and laugh really hard at something. Now you over here about to piss me off. Now I'm about to just my whole vibe just changed. All right, I got it up. Oh my gosh. Here it is. I got it up. Okay. I got it up. Let me see what it looked like if I. All right, there we go. I got it up. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Can I pull it up more? All right. This is a snake prank, and my wife sent this to me at I think 11:30 midnight, something like that last night, and I absolutely was rolling for a very long time. Okay, so I might not laugh right now because I just got pissed off at Facebook, but you guys might. It's a snake prank. They attach the snake to these people and they react.
Charlotte.
It's like a fucking snake there. It's a fucking snake!
I had Cyber 3. Not Cyber.
I caught me a real one. I caught me a real one.
Fucking snake in your goddamn thing! Stop! No, there's a snake out there! Stop! Okay. Oh my God, Kelly, I'm getting
Did a split on the boat.
Stevie, behind you. Behind you.
God damn it! Oh my God!
She jumped on.
Watch out! Hold on! Watch out!
Oh, Charlotte.
It's like a fucking snake.
Oh my God. Oh man. I'm just trying to figure out, all snakes are not like bad. So why do we act like this? Bro, who said that snakes just make humans react this way? Like, who caused this? Maybe it was like Adam and Eve and the serpent. I don't know. But all snakes aren't really bad. You know what I mean? Did y'all see that baby experiment when you drop a snake in in the little box with babies? They don't even care. The babies are like touching them, and you know what I mean? But so what happens between a baby and now as an adult? Because that is exactly how I would react. But it's like, bro, all snakes aren't just looking to bite people. You know what I mean? Some snakes just be slithering around, minding their business, looking for rats, looking for birds, and actually protecting the yard. But if I ever see a snake, I'm absolutely killing it. I don't care what you was supposed to be doing. You don't have a role in this family, okay? Or in my yard. I don't care. Let the birds and rats run around. You, sir, aren't allowed. But it was hilarious because I'm like, I just don't understand us and snakes and just how how we all would probably react the same way. It is crazy, bro. I was dying laughing at that. Oh my gosh. Woo, sorry, I had to sidetrack. I had to because it crossed my mind, and I was like, I have to show somebody else that video. I'm over here dying laughing by myself. Oh my gosh. All right. Let me collect myself. It said, Jay is a snake. Some snakes are nice though. That's what I like. Some snakes are chill. Some snakes just want to like use you as a little tree branch, you know what I mean? Whatever they call it, like where they could just like rap, you know what I mean? They just chilling. So why does none of us want that to happen? Like, why can't any of us just have our arm out and just let the snake just do his thing? Like, there's so many snakes that do that. But what is it about snakes and us, and we just don't get along? And it's just like that. You're just not supposed to be doing that. You should not be the way you are and being able to slither the way you do, the way you're able to swim in water. Oh, that just should not happen. There should not be animals. There should not be reptiles. I'm sorry. You just should not exist. Snakes, Komodo dragons. I know I'm far left. Spiders. There's so many things that I just don't think is necessary. I don't care what you say. I don't care if spiders be eating mosquitoes and all these other things some of these things just should not exist. And snakes are one of them. I don't understand your purpose. Even if they explain the purpose, I don't agree. I let the rats run around. I saw a rat snake on a walk one time. Oh my gosh, that thing looked like an anaconda. And they talking about, oh, it don't do nothing. It just eat rats and okay. Oh man. That one had me. That one had me. The replay crew gonna hate me because y'all not understanding that we just chilling right now. So I know I'm off script. I know my timing is crazy. We an hour in and we just been sitting here laughing about Donkey of the Day stuff. So forgive me. I promise you I'll make it up to you. I will make sure in post-production I create chapters because I know this was a super late stream and I have definitely not cared about timing of anything right now. Now I want to get into Brandon Tatum, who is the thumbnail. And I think this is a very, very, very interesting time we are in right now because what he said in this video is very strange if you are Candace Owens and you're like, oh, Officer Tatum or Brandon Tatum, he's like a brother to me. Don't know how that's possible. I saw a coach the other day. You know, y'all know me. I've been I've been saying for a while that Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens, I just don't understand that dynamic. It doesn't make any sense. And you know, I've also shared that like I've been told that it's been a couple of months, but I remember back in February, March-ish, you know, I was told that they were still like hanging out. They were still like super, super cool. And that does align with what they've been saying about each other as far as like, you know, we're cool with each other. That's like sis, that's like bro. So when this person was like, yeah, like they be hanging out at each other's spots, like they like that. And I remember I was like, so what's going on there? How is he online calling her all these different things? And yes, we do know that he's sold out and his bosses are making him do this. But how do you all of a sudden just hang out on the weekend after a long week of talking bad about Candace Owens? I don't understand that. Now, this is a different ball game. I'm sure these people all know how politics go, and they know how, hey, my boss just got me doing this. Don't take it, you know, super hard. I just got to do what I got to do. And Candace has been in that space, and I'm sure she's probably had to lie and do all these weird little things too. So maybe she just understands that they're in a dirty game, I guess. But from a normal person, because we're normal. Candace ain't normal, okay? I love her content, but she's not a normal person. I'm just saying. Their relationship ain't normal at all. Coach revoked his friendship. Yeah, I saw that. I finally was like, bro, about time somebody else is saying something, you know, and he's somebody that's super, he's been recognized by Candace plenty of times, like for sure. You know what I mean? You would say that he's definitely connected to Candace. So for him to say that, I'm like, oh, his work is it's going up the ladder. I like it. We've been saying it for half a year. But I love the fact that it's going up the ladder slow, but surely it's on the way. But listen to what Brandon Tatum had to say about Candace Owens. And the Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens debate. I'm not going to play his reaction to the whole debate. He pretty much said, I'm skipping it to the end. The end is what's important. Throughout the entire debate, Brandon Tatum pretty much said Candace Owens. I actually tweeted it, so let me see what I tweeted. Brandon Tatum said, and I was paraphrasing, he said a couple of times, he was like, there are just so many things that Candace has said that is incorrect. I don't even know if she watched the prelim. Excuse me? I'm telling you, someone had the audacity to say she shouldn't give him the time of day. But Andrew Wilson get the time of day? Blake Neff, Ben Shapiro, Allie Beth Stuffy, all these other characters? No, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Out of all them people that we just named, Brandon Tatum deserves the most time of the day. Because everybody know their relationship. So everybody like, yo, I need to understand what's going on here. Andrew Wilson, I don't give a freak about that. This right here, I need to understand exactly what you're thinking, Candace, because like, what? And so, yeah, Brandon Tatum said, there are just so many things Candace has said that is incorrect. I don't even know if she watched the prelim. And throughout the entire thing, he pretty much was shaking his head, not agreeing with Candace. Look at this reaction right here that I took a screenshot of. This is the opening statement when Candace Owens said that she is at 0% that Tyler Robinson did it. Look at this reaction. That is Brandon Tatum when she said that. I actually could probably just pull that part up.
Candace has said,
oh, I was about to give it away what we gonna reveal. Y'all probably already know, but I wasn't trying to skip it that quick yet. All right.
Kudos to the both of you guys that you made it work. The topic of discussion today, how this got prompted is, Andrew, you said there's overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson shot and killed.
You'll notice the term overwhelming was in.
I just want to show y'all this reaction. There you go.
November 10th. By throwing it to, this is just people who are conspiracy theorists. These are people who are just trying to generate clicks. I don't think that people should be satisfied by that. I want people to remember that it's important to think. We've been lied to by the government. Agree.
Here you go.
I mean, I'm not even with what my percentage.
The fact that he didn't shoot and kill Charlie Kirk.
Yes, which I'm hoping we're going to get to all of the evidence that he feels that he has. I mean, I'm not even convinced that Charlie was shot from the rooftop on Losi that day, based on the evidence that has been.
Do you think he was shot?
Brandon Tatum is very disappointed in his sister. And throughout this debate, Brandon Tatum says that both of them do a bad job. But if he had to give somebody the props or the one up, he said he's going to give it to Andrew Wilson. So, again, this is big brother here said that Candace Owens lost this debate and said that she clearly hasn't watched the prelim, and said that Andrew Wilson is doing an okay job and Candace Owens is not at all. And that wasn't it. That was kind of the commentary throughout the video. It gets worse. Listen to what he said in his closing statement on his sister. I just want to keep on throwing that out there. Sister, right? Great friend, best friend, sis. Okay. Listen to what he says about sis here.
Swear under oath that he's telling the truth. Take on this interview, and y'all can go watch it on Candace's show. You can go watch it on Patrick B. David or Andrew Wilson's show. My whole take on this is that she just made a bag. She's made a bag. $300,000 to do that debate. You don't have to really be held accountable for nothing you say. None of them really have any concrete, unequivocal evidence. They've shown some things that I think it may. That's
not it. I'm just pulling it down because he said my take on the debate, I mean, she just made 300,000. She just made a bag, and like, you know, she's not even being held accountable for what she got to say. Basically saying she got paid $300,000 just to get up there and say some BS. That's basically what he said. She got up there and said some BS and got a bag, and nobody gonna check her for saying all that BS. That's what I got. Am I instigating? Absolutely. But that's also what I feel like I heard. But listen to what he says in this part right here.
Andrew appeared to be winning this debate so far, but at the end of the day, they still haven't gotten to half of the stuff that they need to talk about.
Agreed.
And Patrick David needs to moderate moving forward just a little bit, because, and the crazy thing is that Candace has said, and I saw the video, the guy Milk TV posted it, that Erica killed Charlie. Unequivocally, Erica killed Charlie. Erica got him killed. Erica knew something about his death. Turning Point USA was responsible for his death. Not they could be, not I think they were responsible. And those things, hopefully they bring it up. All right, love you guys. I got to get to something else that I have to do.
Nah, you don't just get to run off on that one, but dog. Which one is it? Because you saying that Candace said out of her mouth that Erica killed Charlie? Wow. That is a crazy claim. I have never heard that, by the way. Y'all know me. I love her content, but I'm also very unbiased, and I'll be the first person to critique something of her and criticize something. I have never heard that. I've never heard her say Erica did it. That's a crazy claim. That right there is defamation. That's exactly what Candace avoids. But him saying Erica did it, but then he also goes on to say Erica had something to do with it, and TPUSA had some type of role in it, and Erica had some type of role in it. Well, which one is it? You can't go and say all of that stuff, because which one are you saying that Candace said? He just said out of his own mouth he saw a video from Milk TV, whatever that is, of Candace saying that Erica killed Charlie. That's crazy. No, I agree. I don't think she's ever said that. I don't think I've ever heard her say that at all. I think everybody said that she's feel like she's played some type of role, but I'm sure she worded it in a way that also protected herself then. But like, as far as saying she did it, dude, that is like the dumbest comment ever, because that would mean that, you know, it was Erica on the roof. Did Erica do something with the microphone? If to say that Erica did it, you know what I mean? That's why I'm like, bro, that was the most low life answer or claim that you could have thrown out there at your sister, to say that Candace is going around saying that Erica did it. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. And to me, it's kind of like weird too, because it's like, are you trying to get her set up in a lawsuit? Like, are you trying to get your bosses and your affiliates, Erica and all them, are you trying to prop them up and kind of push them into suing your sister? What? That's what I'm getting out of it. Because she's never said that, but if she and she's been trying her best. And first off, you don't even have to really try to not say that, because it's just not true. Everybody knows that Erica didn't do it, but they've been trying to get her to say that. So the fact that he's now going to say, oh, she did say that though. She said it before. I got it on video. What? And so, yeah, Candace, like I said a million times, I need to hear from her. What is going on? What is happening? I saw somebody comment and say, where is it at? Candace is handling this like a pro. I'm sure she has cried in private about her friend's betrayal. However, she's handling this like she did with Erica. She's a pro. I mean, I don't doubt that at all. I don't know what she does in private. I have no idea. So I can't, say yes or no. But all I can say is we have learned about a lot of people that have called her out very quickly too. So and I'm sure it does hit home. Like, obviously we're looking from the outside. I mean, we're on the outside looking in. And so yeah, it is for sure. I'm well aware that it's easy for me to say, Candace, bro, call this person out. I don't know how close her kids are with his kids and how close George is maybe with him or with his wife. I don't know. I just know that there are a lot of people that have called her out just like him, and they got crazy attention and he doesn't. And it's just one of those things that is just like, man, this is kind of strange to say that you were cool with this guy. I don't know. It's the same thing with Tucker Carlson. I hold everybody to the same standard. Not, Tucker Carlson's totally different, but the principle of like, oh, I'm pursuing truth. I like Candace, but I'm also cool with Erica, who's calling Candace demonic every single day. Okay, I'm again, these people aren't normal. So I can't really put myself in their shoes and in their minds, but I just know me as a normal individual. There's no way that I could be cool with somebody and then that person talks about another one of my friends in my friend group and says that person is the devil. They're demonic. They're X, Y, and Z. They're blah, blah, blah. But then they both know that I'm cool with the both of them. Like it just does not register in my brain at all. So it's one of those things like that with Candace Owens right now. It's like, he's calling you his sister. You called him your brother. He's pushing Fed slop. He's pushing the original narrative. He's pushing the same things that all these other people are pushing that she's talked about. And now he is out here essentially saying, and maybe she might sue him behind closed doors. I don't know. But I think for him to say that, to say, yeah, I saw a video of Candace saying that Erica killed Charlie. I'm like, wow. I just feel like that's insane. I'm interested in seeing. Let me see if Coach Collins said anything about this. Again, I like seeing the perspective of what he has to say because he is close with Candace, according to social media. He's definitely in that orbit. So let me see if he's had anything to say about that, because if he start ringing that alarm bell and saying something, I'm telling you, it's gonna get closer and closer to Candace. Let me see if he said something about it. He hasn't been live yet. Yeah, he hasn't been live yet. So tomorrow we'll probably hear from Coach about that. But here's another Brandon Tatum clip. I forgot to play this because we haven't done a Yappisode in a minute. So here's another Brandon Tatum clip that's talking about Candace, not in a positive way. But it's pretty funny though. Where is it? He actually cracked me up. All right, here you go right here. Again, him going at Candace and disrespecting her. But I will say this is very funny though.
Degrade and blur footage when you go, ooh.
Time out. Candace, I love you, sis. I love you. You know I love you. But
I can't tell. I cannot tell.
What is? I love you. You know I love you. But what are we talking about here? Even if the argument in this from your source is something to do with his right or left hand, no one on planet Earth will never use their left hand to put an earbud in. So are somebody trying to make it think that nobody would ever use their left hand in their ear because they're right-handed? What if you already got the right one in? You gonna use the right one and put the left one in? I mean, you put the left. Okay, then beyond that, if the government is so super spooky that come on, bring me big screen. If the government is so super spooky that they have the capacity to frame an innocent boy and convince his parents to snitch on him and say he did it.
Y'all can't lie. Look, y'all cannot sit here and lie to me. The man is entertaining. Okay, the man is entertaining. Regardless of the stuff he be talking about, I know it's ridiculous. I know it's obnoxious, but we cannot deny the fact that the man is entertaining. He is. He said, wait, bring me big screen. If the government is so super spooky, if it is so super spooky, oh my gosh, bro, this guy is hilarious, man. And this is why I liked him a long time ago. He was entertaining. Him and Candace, those is my dynamic duo. And that's why I think it pains me to see this divide, because they both was the two that I was like, that kind of like put me on, you know what I mean? As far as like waking me up to everything that's kind of going on. But the guy is entertaining, bro. If the government is so super spooky.
What if you already got the right one in? You gonna use the right one and put the left one in? I mean, you put the left. Okay, then beyond that, if the government is so super spooky that come on, bring me big screen. If the government is so super spooky that they have the capacity to frame an innocent boy and convince his parents to snitch on him and say he did it, somehow coordinate text messages to say he did it, get his lover to say he did it, get his DNA on a gun, the bullet, all of that from different agencies that do not work together. You're talking about local investigators. You're talking about university police, county, municipality. You're talking about a crime lab and then you're talking about the FBI crime lab that's not associated to the Utah crime lab. You got all these people working. You got Israel. You got Turning Point. You got Erica. You got the government is so super spooky they can get every single person involved to coordinate together to kill Charlie Kirk for no reason, but they can't doctor a video to get the left hand to do the right hand.
Bro, he's funny. Okay, he's funny. He is hilarious. I continue to be sold, bro. Continue to be a sellout. Hey, you already lost me, so I'll never take you serious anymore. But it would be just that, entertainment. The guy is hilarious. The guy is hilarious.
You doctor a video together to kill Charlie Kirk for no reason, but they can't doctor a video to get the left hand to do the right hand.
And it's crazy because, don't get me wrong, his breakdown, I understand it, but it's just like, dog, it's so much more to it than just that. But the way he broke it down was also hilarious because I understand what he's saying too. So the government is so super spooky that they was able to do all of these things, but they couldn't fix a security camera footage. I get it, but it's a little bit more than that though, big dog.
You can't doctor a video to get the left hand to do the right hand. You can't make this up.
He's a cop out, no pun intended. Yeah, that's a fact. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. For no reason. Yeah, right. I mean, that's why take everything he's saying with well, I couldn't even say with a grain of salt. Don't take him serious at all. I just laugh at him. I just look at him for entertainment. I listen to him for entertainment. And I definitely would like go to some of his videos just to hear his obnoxious takes. I'm like, bro, they knew who to pay. They knew who to pay because he is definitely their product, man. He is very good at what he does. I will never, ever, ever take that away from him. The guy is entertaining. He is. Someone said his relation, there it is, the merch relationship between Candace and Tatum is suspect. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's definitely not like speculation or anything like that. It's a real thing. He had a members only live or something like that I for sure paid for because I think he had a thumbnail. It was like something about Candace Owens, and he was like our relationship or something like that. And I'm like, you charging people to listen to what you got to say about Candace? Sure, I'll pay for it because I'm definitely interested. And yeah, they went into it. He talked about how he still does her merch, but they don't like directly, work together every day and all that other stuff. Like, it's a business. So he's the owner of a business. She's the owner of like the product that's getting shipped to her. So it's not like she has a team too. So her team gets in contact with his team. So it's just teams talking to each other. It's not necessarily Brandon Tatum talking to Candace Owens. However, like I said, months back, somebody already was like, yeah, bro, they still be hanging out all the time on the weekends and at each other's house, their kids, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's interesting. And Brandon Tatum said out of his own mouth that him and Candace don't work like hand in hand in the merch thing. They just make it happen because it's his business. But he said that when something gets like escalated and there's like a issue, he goes straight to George, and him and George work together to figure out different things going on. So like that was the dynamic that he said out of his own mouth that y'all don't have to pay for because I paid for it and I went on ahead and told y'all what he's saying in his member lives. And that's be the only time I'll see he have a Candace thing, and I'm like, shoot. Whatever, bro. Whatever. Here, take my $2. Take my $2-3 so I can hear what you got to say about Candace. See if you're talking trash, so I can see what's going on. Buddy is, oh my gosh. Oh, you missed a lot. I'm sorry. We've been on for an hour and 30 minutes. Buddy is hilarious, man. He really is funny. He sold Candace out, which is why Charlie didn't care for him. Yeah. I mean, he said it too. He said it to himself. He was like, if I had to call somebody, it would have been Candace. He was like, Charlie was cool, but he was never somebody that I'd call if I actually needed something. It would be Candace. So, I think him and Charlie was close, but it was more like associates versus like a great friend. But at the same time, I don't know these people because Brandon Tatum was also at the opening of the Turning Point location in Arizona, and it was Charlie, Brandon Tatum, and Candace Owens on stage, talking. So like it could have been great friends, and maybe he was like a brother. Because yeah, they started Candace and Brandon Tatum started the Blexit, and Charlie, helped with all of that. So. But I just know he said out of his own mouth that Candace, he said him and Candace definitely was like this. But he was like, Charlie was cool, but it wasn't somebody that I would call on. Which would kind of make sense too, because I think about the age. I know Candace is cool with Charlie, but like Brandon Tatum is similar to Candace's age. So Brandon Tatum leaning on Charlie, calling Charlie was probably like, from a man-to-man perspective, that's probably not the same as Candace Owens being cool with Charlie. All right, let me see. Oh, yeah, that is a long thing. I gotta show that too. So there's this Oh yeah. I don't know if y'all heard. Nick Shirley has been in the hot seat for a lot of people. A lot of people are like starting to catch on to who Nick Shirley really is. And it's crazy because I don't know about y'all, I'll speak for me. Nick Shirley was definitely somebody that I thought was like I'll ask mine. I thought he was somebody that was for the people. You know what I mean? This young kid that's into social media, that's documenting everything, and he's doing all this investigating. And I never really thought in my head that he was, kind of like an agent. But that it started kind of getting very weird to me with the places that he was at. And then next thing you know, Trump would go there and all of that. But he ended up saying something to Thomas Massey. Let me see if I can find what he said to him. He went at Thomas Massey the other day. And a lot of people did not like that. All right, here it is right here. All right, so Thomas Massey. So Nick Shirley said, what is he saying right here? I just want all the context. Let's see what Nick Shirley says right here first. Video says, your tax dollars have become the new money laundering scheme for these corrupt politicians. Governor, I don't know what that is. Hochul has been taking donations from these daycare fraudsters in NYC. I don't know why I said that. New York City, who receive millions of your taxpayer dollars to operate adult daycares. Well, Nick Shirley, you can't really be doing all that because, I know I'm a nobody. But yeah, there's also fraud taking place on the right that Nick Shirley doesn't care about. And I think that's when a lot of people started realizing, like, I know Candace said something about it too, but a lot of people started realizing, like, bro, it's not just Democrats that is doing fraud. And then that's when people like, oh, now we starting to figure out who's sending you to these places. But because that's what he typically has been doing, is just going to the Democratic cities and saying all of these Democratic governors are, doing all of this fraud, but yet he never, ever touches on the right. And come on now, y'all already know I don't believe in the left and right stuff, but let's just entertain what's going on here because he does work for that side. And but he never talks about going after the right. He never talks about any of that stuff. Turning Point USA is a political organization that aligns itself with the freaking radical right, in my opinion. Not even just a little bit right. It's supposed to just be conservative. It's the radical right now. And they literally, like, it's known that they commit fraud. Everybody has figured that out. So I remember, like, I tweeted it to Nick Shirley and so many other people tweeted Nick Shirley because they were like, and it was out of sarcasm because I was like, hey, bro, since you're so into investigating fraud, don't worry about going to Cuba and going to all these different places. Hey, how about you looking to Turn Point USA? But you never would you? You never would, because that's where your bosses are. And it started getting real weird. So yeah, he's an agent. I see it too, but he went at Thomas Massey, and it's gonna get crazy because the Leah file said something very interesting about him that we're gonna get to, but we're getting the full context here. Let's see what Nick Shirley had to say.
This might be a bit shocking. Remember when I went and exposed the adult daycare scam inside of New York City? These adult daycares were billing for an impossible amount of patients inside of Flushing, Queens for adult daycares. For instance, this guy right here operated an adult daycare that received $44 million of your taxpayer dollars. I exposed it plain and simple, and Governor Hochul and Mayor Mandami absolutely went completely silent. And it's super funny because when I exposed the daycare fraud in Minnesota, then New York City gave $4.5 billion to 2-year-olds. And I said, why are you guys doing that? They said, well, this initiative extends money to 2-year-olds, but intellectually you may be eligible. Governor Hochul started beef with me.
But even with Minnesota, though, like the fraud, he exposed the fraud, right? And man, I don't forget videos I make because comment sections be so funny. But when he exposed the fraud in Minnesota, I remember I was like, okay, so this should be easy, right? Tim Walsh gets locked up. Trump doesn't even like Tim Walsh. This is easy, case closed. And then next, you know, Trump is like, oh, I had a great conversation with Tim Walsh and we're going to figure something out. And then I remember I was always telling people, I'm like, bro, first off, y'all think anybody could steal hundreds of millions of dollars underneath the president's nose and underneath all these people's nose? Absolutely not. They all work together. They're all protecting each other. Tim Walsh just got caught slipping. He was sloppy. And I was like, Trump is not finna do anything because it would expose their entire operation. And so everybody called me crazy, obviously, the Trumpies and the people that still believe in him to this day, the diehard MAGA fans that still will never see what's going on. They were like, no, Trump's definitely finna go up there and handle Tim Walsh. He doesn't even like Tim Walsh. And I was like, bro, I promise you, Tim Walsh is not going to get arrested for this. What are you talking about? Have y'all not learned what's like? And that's, you know, that's a whole nother conversation. But Trump ended up not doing anything. He said he had a great conversation with Tim Walsh. And what did Tim Walsh do? Allow Trump to send ICE to Minnesota. Case closed. That's all it was for. Open up the doors and open up different things for him to send ICE in there and ICE do what they do. But he didn't do anything with Tim Walsh. He didn't do anything with the fraud. So you would think for somebody that's, let's just say, an independent journalist that was just, exposing the fraud, you would think that him going so hard on Tim Walsh, because Nick Shirley was, you would think that he would then say, hold on, that's strange. Trump, why don't you care about what I just recovered? Over hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayer funds? And this guy is not arrested or locked up? Why wouldn't Nick Shirley call Trump out? How is it just case closed? And Nick Shirley goes on to the next city. It got really strange after that. That's when I was like, whoa, bro. Like, you just don't care no more, even though Trump knowingly just let it go. And I know they shipped some of those. I said shipped. I'm sorry. Like they deported and arrested some of those Somalians that was in the daycare scheme and all that stuff. But again, somebody had to go down, and it was going to be them. But it should have also been Tim Walsh and that entire operation. But again, our government cannot arrest each other. That's the whole point of the Charlie Kirk case. Nobody can arrest each other. So it's weird.
It's like, well, I'm going to finish it. Well, now it turns out that Governor Hochul is receiving donations from these adult daycare scammers in New York City.
Living Well received $8.6 million in 2025. And on their peak day of business, they billed the state for 406 beneficiaries. My name's Nick Shirley.
Well, Kathy Hochul received over $55,000 from these adult daycares in New York City. Yes, this guy right here has been actively donating to Kathy Hochul. So the reason why these politicians get so mad at me when I expose the fraud is because I'm exposing the very dollars that benefit them and their political agendas. And
well, Trump can't do anything. Like he talked about it, but he can't do anything. He pretended like he cared about the Minnesota fraud. But again, it was just all a little cover up. It took forever for them to go into Minnesota and seize all of the documents in the daycares, all the paperwork. It took like 3-4 months for them to do that. Why? Because they probably was destroying most of it, giving them time to tamper. You know what I mean? So it's like they all work together. But Nick Shirley was on to the next case.
Side of their own state. These politicians have learned that fraud is the best way to gain control of a large group of a population, because why would a group in a community cut off the hand that feeds them? And more specifically, why would any community ever vote against somebody who is giving them money no matter what? We have so much money here inside the United States that we are able to hand out millions upon millions of dollars and no one will even notice. And now that somebody's looking and these politicians are being exposed, they're all freaking out. And Kathy Hochul.
Yeah, so he said that, and then Thomas Massey said, hard to take Nick Shirley seriously until he starts calling out Johnson, I don't know, is that Thune and Trump for funding the daycare fraud. Oh, I literally just said that, yeah. And every omnibus, man, see, this is why I ain't in politics. And CR bill with no guardrails. And that's very true. I mean, he doesn't call out Trump at all. But then Nick Shirley says, in other politics, in other words, why can't a 24-year-old solve all the government's spending problems? You people in DC are a large part of the problem. All you do is complain and whine on X while your job is to actually work for us. I've exposed and saved America billions. What have you done? I am 100% independent and rely on my followers to continue doing what I do. Between security and other costs, a typical video now costs me $10,000 to make. Pre-Minnesota, it costs $1,000. If you would like to support, subscribe to my ex. Right. But if you tell him to go, if we all mass tag him and say, go look at TPUSA, he won't do it. That's capped. But why I brought that up is because the Leah Files is now on his head and she don't play. You know, she's a friend of the show. She don't play. She said Nick Shirley is a 24-year-old who I gave grace to because he was dumb. But after his arrogance against Massey tonight, no more grace. You have no experience and you are a clear plant. Seen this playbook before. Nick, when I worked for the people who recruited you, instead of calling out true fraud like Howard Lutnick and Donald Trump, you come for Thomas Massey? Get ready, you entitled little trash. Your entire family is in on this because they were effed with fraud allegations. You are a plant who was given stories and propped up by the Einstein class. You're not fooling anyone, and it's time people learn who you really are. I don't feel sorry for you anymore because I don't feel sorry for people who protect child predators. Oh man. Oh man. And yeah, I can show y'all my little reaction. Where is that? When I saw that, I for sure. Yeah. That was my reaction to Leah's post because yeah, when she says she owns something, she own it. She is on it. And I can't wait because I'm just tired of all the faking gay stuff. I'm so tired of people pretending like they this, that, and the third, but the whole time they just like a plant or, you know, an agent or whatever. I'm so tired of that, bro. It's not enough truth tellers, man. It's not enough people that's just really like authentic individuals, which, you know, I guess that's why you don't really trust people that are so super close with into politics and all that other stuff. I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to get into why we're here today doing episodes. Because I'm like, bro, I want to be somebody that people would say, bro, this dude has never sold out. And if it don't matter what the topic is, whether I agree with Jay or disagree with Jay, I know nobody paid him to say that. And I know nobody influenced his decision. I know it's going to be real. I know it's going to be authentic. And again, I ain't got to agree with him. Or maybe I do. But I just know that it's authentic. And I think we lack that. I think we lack that in 2026. It's hard to find that. Mainstream media, not there. You know what I mean? You're talking about just TV. Can't even put on TV. Because they pushing propaganda. They pushing things. They fear mongering. They're doing all these different things. Can't trust TV. But then the elites know that we don't trust TV. So now they work their way down to, you know, podcasters and all the other stuff. So that's why, you know, I already told you all about, you know, your Tucker Carlsons, your Megyn Kellys, the people that you would think, and they portray themselves as like an independent person and free thinker, and I'm a truth seeker. No, you also push propaganda, just in a different manipulative way that we thought was authentic because, oh, instead of you being in a Fox uniform where we know that you got a boss hovering you, now they're in the comfort of their homes, or they're in a little studio and they're in casual clothes. And now all of a sudden we kind of believe them a little bit more because they seem more authentic. But in reality, they're still pushing the same message. They're still pushing the same message. Nothing changed. And I just think that these people are, as we are getting older and detecting these things, I think they're also adjusting, adapting, trying to figure out more ways. Like every day that goes by, we are fighting against a system that is also working to adjust and adapt to our brains and our thought process and trying to get ahead of it. What's the next thing? How can we control them? That's why TikTok, they had to go get that. They was losing control over it. They had to go get that. Charlie would hate TikTok today, bro. He would hate social media today and where it's at. Because he was somebody that was always like, bro, the censorship gotta go. Like, stop all the censorship stuff. He would hate it because TikTok is just not the same anymore. But yeah, I just think that that's what it is. And it's hard to find those people. And I think that's why, it's crucial to, I don't know. I told Baze that. I was like, Baze, bro, I trust what you say over Candace Owens. I mean, just because, again, we don't know these people. At one point in time, they were paid to push propaganda. You wasn't. You was a regular person that said, man, I just started up a podcast and you can feel the vibes, right? You ain't sitting on millions. And it makes you feel a little different when you can kind of like connect with somebody that feels real. And so I just think that it's important to continue trying to be that. And I think that's why so many people resonate with Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon, yeah, sure. He's been in the game for a very long time. But every time he speaks about anything, it just feels authentic. It just feels authentic. And it could be a lot of different things that people disagree with too. Again, there's not going to be anything that you agree with somebody 100% of the time. But with Tim Dillon, I like listening to his monologue sometimes because I'm like, man, this guy just sounds like a regular person with genuine intentions. Because why? Because he isn't really afraid to criticize anyone. Now, yes, there are times where I've heard him say, like, you can tell that he gets a little, uncomfortable talking about the Charlie Kirk thing because none of these people want to be labeled. That's unfortunately where it's came to, is that anytime you question the original narrative, your sponsors, all of these people, they just label you as like a lunatic. So, I don't really blame him for feeling a little, but he has said it plenty of times. He's criticized Eric. He's criticized all them folks plenty of times. But that's why people love Tim Dillon so much. Because he just seems like he's just a regular person that just calls balls and strikes. And that's why I told y'all, like, for me, a huge part about what I like doing is the fact that I don't want to be in cahoots with anybody. Not that I'm looking to attack anybody. None of that. I'm never somebody that's looking for smoke in that type of way. Just more so like I don't mind going against the grain. Like, I don't mind everybody on X. Most of them love to be in like the Candace orbit in the echo chamber. They love to be that. They love to be the person that wants to be recognized by her and be the person. Like, I don't really like doing that. It's never been me. I still love her content. Absolutely. But I don't want to do that because the second that you say something negative, people are like, whoa, you were never supposed to say anything negative about Candace. And it's like, what? Why not? And so that's why I never, ever, ever pushed to do stuff like that. I've never, ever pushed to try to reach out to people to try to get them on. And I don't want to do none of that, bro. I want to be able to wake up one day and say, hey, bro, I don't like the way you just did that. That don't mean I don't like you. I still love your content. I'm still a fan of it. But what you did right there, I ain't rocking with that. I disagree with that. There's a lot of people that can't do that right now. For example, keeping it a buck, Baron would never, ever, ever, ever say, yeah, I disagree with what Candace did right there. He would just brush it over and move on to the next thing. Not that I'm looking for people to be this whole infighting thing. I'm not looking for that at all. I'm just trying to kind of lay a foundation around like the principle of I don't want to be lumped in and grouped in with people that feel afraid to have an opinion, right? All of these people, I've never really seen them ever say, I don't know about that, or I don't know about this, about anybody, right? It's a lot of people that I've seen and watched that I've never seen them criticize. It's always just good things, 24/7. So yeah, that's just me. I don't want to be that. I want to be a free thinker, independent thinker. And that way, no matter what, when it comes to Tucker Carlson, when it comes to all of these people, I don't mind being like, yo, Tucker Carlson, op. Don't trust the guy. Don't like him. And I just feel like, I just think it's authentic because I also have plenty of videos where I'm just like, bro, I like Tucker Carlson. He's a great dude. I think he could be the president one day. And the next you know, a month, maybe it's been a little bit longer than that, but 6 months to a year later, the same guy is like, yo, Tucker Carlson's off, bro. Something weird with it. That's authentic. But then somehow it's like backwards in his world. And people are like, oh, he must have been paid off. Why? I think that should make you realize that I am more of a real person because I'm like, hey, I just loved the guy a month ago. And I'm sitting here telling you that something's weird about him. Why would somebody pay me to do that? That makes no sense at all. So like, I don't know. It's just, he said he disagreed with Candace on some things. Yeah, but it's still like very, very treading lightly when he does it. And for example, the debate with Andrew Wilson, I think it could have been better. I don't think it's a bad thing to say that. But Barron, just like everybody else on X, was eating it up. She destroyed him. And I'm like, come on. Listen, she came out on the victorious end, yes, but it was not that good. Okay. We don't need to go around saying that she absolutely destroyed him. And it was not that, it wasn't all that. Okay. He was terrible, which then made the whole debate terrible. But it's no reason to gas anything up like that. But that's what I'm talking about. So and again, that's that this is the point though. This is the point. We can talk about Barron's reactions, Candace's reactions, Coach's reaction, anything like that, and still be cool with all of these people. Bro, Coach literally, for the ones that remember, Coach literally said the craziest thing about me when he first found out who I was. And I told y'all, I was like, that rubbed me the wrong way. I ain't gonna hold you. That was like very like what's up with that? You know what I mean? And here we are months later, and I'm like, he's cool people. You know what I mean? Like he's straight. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I just think it's important though. I just think that was the whole thing I was trying to get to, is that it's important, I think, to find the voices who aren't afraid to go against the grain on anybody whatsoever. I would never, ever get into like politics, like heavy into it, because I just feel like it's just so fake. But I love to be, I'm going to always be somebody that's like, bro, I'm going to get all of these different options, and y'all best believe that whatever I choose or comment on, it's going to be authentic. You ain't got to worry about it being influenced or oh, maybe he's going a little light on this person because they're friends. No, not at all. Facts. I'm 100% with myself, and when I'm wrong, I admit it. Yeah, that's definitely me. 100%. Video white man, straight Christian, former Marine. Here to say J Yap is on point, got the vibe, the heart, the demeanor, and integrity to be a leader. I appreciate it. I really do. It's important to stay original. It is, man. It's just, I just saw a lot of people that I just saw a lot of people just get like so grouped in with the crowd that I once thought was like, oh, they're gonna call balls and strikes no matter what. But then it just turned into like a grouped into a crowd, and now they're just trying to like please, crowd pleasers. And I don't want to upset this side and this side. No. Not at all. Not I. Let's see. All right. Trying to see what's going on in the other room. Both boys is so spoiled. They just take over my entire bed because they both want to sleep with mom. Bird Club. Yeah, I can do that. Lionel Nation is one of the guys who won't say anything about Candace. Yeah, right. That's a great example. That is somebody that, and that's the part that I'm talking about. Like, that's why I love to create a safe space, attempt to do that. And everybody that joins, we try to always like put it out there. This is a safe space. I want it to be that, because like you want to be able to, when you have feelings and you like, man, like something's weird, but I'm not going to be able to understand how I feel, because when I go to this person's page, all they're going to do is gas up the creator. All they're going to do is gas up this individual. They never, ever say anything wrong about them. So it's like, how you can't even really get off how you feel about somebody. So that's why I'm like, that has been my goal since day one, since I've ever been on social media. I'm like, bro, people will always know that it will be a safe space, and you're going to see me talk about absolutely everyone. Because that's all. I'm a person that stands on truth, and I try my best to stand on truth. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But as far as like being in cahoots with people, no, not at all. Because you just can't. It's hard to do that. Like if somebody ever was like, man, something feels weird about Candace, and it's normal. It's a normal human feeling. You wouldn't be able to go to Baron's page and figure out how he feels about it. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be able to go to Lionel Nation's page. You wouldn't be able to go to a lot of people's pages. And that's why I probably would never, ever be clumped in with people and promoted by people, because they're going to be like, listen, Jay cool, but tomorrow he might say something negative about Candace. So you know what? Please, let's not talk about that guy. I'm like, sure, that's cool with me. Fine with me. That's cool. But man, oh, what time is it? 1:20? Man, we was up to like 4 in the morning last night. Was doing TikTok live. And now we here tonight. So we up. What lawyer with 8 kids quit his job? Hey man, hey, I don't know. I haven't been able to like wrap my mind around anything with Baron yet. But hey, I don't mind looking into him. and seeing what I find publicly. I don't mind. But let me go. Let me go see what wifey want. So I won't be able to get through all the comments tonight, but I appreciate y'all for joining this late night stream because this is later than usual. But make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Make sure you guys turn your notifications on so you can be notified the next time we go live. Because probably will be tomorrow, but it's gonna be a great week as far as like good vibes, and we'll go live probably many times. So outside of that, I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a great Sunday night, great Monday morning, great week ahead. I love y'all, and I will see y'all on the next one.